Hello happy souls, this is my new project Suzuki Max $100 revamp, and these are all the chapters which I categorized for this iteration project, and this is exclusively about chapter 7, engine dismantling. In that we are in part 5, and these are all the things which you are going to remove today. And today let's begin with the engine dismantling screws first, and for this you need an impact screwdriver, and this is how you remove it. You have to hold it, and if you're loosening it, turn around in an anti-clockwise direction and hit at the end with a hammer, and this loosens the screws, and then you can use your normal screwdriver to remove the screws. And if you first remove with your normal screwdriver, the biting point would be less, so it could damage the screws, so you need an impact tool. And in online I saw some products, some of them are with bad review, so I bought this in a nearby shop, and a detailed review is available in tools required for this project. And I have done a detailed review about it, and not only that, everything's like reviews and about the products and what are all the screws, the unboxing videos and everything, step by step procedure, everything is in this video, so check that out in the description and in my playlist. And one by one remove these screws, and the screw kit, the entire screw kit cost me around 110 for this project. And for Samurai I found a old shop near my house, there I bought it for 98 rupees I think. And this after loosening it, you need a special tool, that is engine splitter. I have done a special tool myself, and I went to a nearby scrap shop and bought a single piece of rod like this, and measured the engine distance and split it into two, and the excess was kept aside. And this is how you have to remove it, a bit like the magneto nut was already there. Put it in the reverse direction and take two long screws of the engine casing, and since the special tool has a gap in between, we have to choose a bigger washer and tighten it in the position accordingly. And for that you can also weld, but I don't prefer welding for the special tool, so we can use for other purpose also. And likewise add a washer in the magneto crankcase also, and tighten the two screws which are mounted to the engine, and then start loosening with the crankcase nut, slow by slow. The engine case starts splitting slowly, it will disengage, and you can hear a crack noise, and you can see the gap with the thin sheet metal. You can see the gap, and this is the simplest special tool I have ever seen. I have seen many videos for DIY, but that was not convincing to me. And you can see the gap, and the washers at the end are little bent, and this is a gap. After, when you hear a cracking sound, you can stop the entire thing, then you can manually dismantle the engine casing, and then remove the longest screws of the engine mounted areas, and then take off the engine's special tool, splitting tool. And I've seen in the internet it costs around 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 for Suzuki Max $100. And after splitting, you can hit with the hammer or a mallet, so it disengages. This is the gear assembly unit, the selector, the lay shaft and the drive shaft. And after that is the washers. The thrust washer is there, and idle gear is there, or support gear, and it also has a washer. And then the gear kicker gear assembly, the gear shafts. Take off the every single parts, like any leftovers in it, Then coming to the oil seal, you can use a nose player, and you can insert and you can pick it, so it will easily disengages. That is sleeve between the uh, gearbox output unit of this chain sprocket, the inner sprocket, the small sprocket. And for entire thing I took with the nose player, and for the crankcase oil seal I used the screwdriver, the flat screwdriver. And then move to the bearings. Actually I am living in an apartment, so I can't hit with a hammer, and I would work at even in the night, so it will disturb the sleep of the neighbors. So I'm using this technique. Actually there are many techniques. I took a bolt and a washer which is of bigger in diameter than the inner dia of the bearing, and took the same special tool, the rod which I used for the special tool for splitting the engine, and then again added a washer and made a bridge in between the crank casing and started tightening it. And here what it happens is, when you tighten it, the bolt and nut assembly contracts and brings the bearing to the inner side. So with smooth operation you can easily disengage the bearing from the engine. Or else the second type is, you can use a mallet or a wooden piece at the bearings, and you can start hitting at the corners. And while doing this, what you have to keep in mind is, if it is in contact with the outer ring area, you have to hit at the outer part. If it is engaging with the inner ring, you have to hit at the inner part. And this obviously makes some noise. And the third part is the install removing with the heat gun. And some used to use with the heat gun and heat around the corners, and it will expand. The aluminum will expand, and the bearing is of high temperature, high tensile steel, so it will take time to expand. And then we can easily push with the mallet or a hammer, and this is also an option. But I don't have a heat gun, so I use this thing. And I used heating with the gas which we use for cooking, but it didn't work for me. And this is also a small bearing. It depends upon your style. I took two bolt, two nut at the and kept around the bearings, and took the crankcase bearing at the top, and started tightening it. And this bought the small bearing easily. It depends, you have to use your own technique for removing it, and likewise do for all the bearings. And see you in next video, and see other things in my playlist.